I love the applause. It makes me feel so special. Anyway, hi everybody. We're back from Antigua. As y'all can see, I'm a little browner, a little older, a little wiser, a little less whatever. The girls are out because I'm still in that Antigua sun mode. But welcome to the spot, the Stacked After Hours spot. I am your host, Natalie Cosby, and welcome to the show for Grown Folk Talk. Tonight's topic, we are talking about your pet peeves and do they get in the way of you getting into real relationships? So, y'all get ready, get your cocktails, keep those fingertips loose because we want to hear those questions and comments from tonight's show from you. Here at SI, we always keep it what? Lit and enlightening. So, let's get it. Ooh, so welcome everybody. Tonight we have some newbies. We got some regulars back. So let's introduce our regular Mr. We call him the Music Man, the Debonair, our brother who from another mother, Mr. Malik Kayam. Hey Malik, say hello everyone. Next, she is not new to Fact After Hours, but new to the platform, our YouTube show. She is the naked yoga goddess, and if she could, she could eat sushi every day. Mm, I'm gonna keep it there. Miss Kimberly Sims. Hey, Kim. She's got her drink and everything. Next, she is a house head. She is a traveler and she can dance her ass off. And honey, she knows best. Welcome to Stacks After Hours. Our voice, Mommy knows best. Say hello, Mommy. And then finally, we have my co-host, and she's still in Antigua getting her rays on. Sunshine Jeffrey. Say
Hey,
hey, Sunshine.
everyone. Good night.
We also have, he's coming in later, Mr. Kofi Schoolboy. So he will be joining us later to join the conversation. So tonight we're going to jump right into it. Pet peeves in relationships. What are they? Why do we have them? Are they simple ones? Are they real? Can we grow from them? Are they red flags? What do they become? And have they been blocks in our mental? So we're going to dive into all of that tonight. But I'm going to start with the panel with just a general question. Like, what, first of all, what are pet peeves for you? And give us one pet peeve you've had in your past that you have learned to deal with. And it's really no longer a pet peeve. And a current pet peeve that you may have, and I think everybody's single in the dating world. One from your relationships that you've had. And then I think since everybody is single, one that has possibly that you may have when you go out on a date currently. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with ladies first. Miss Kimberly, go ahead, Kim.
Let's go for it.
I think you're on mute, love.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I was thinking about this topic and I have a lot of pet peeves. I was like, dang. I don't think I think this is deeper and I'm glad you gave a list of options. So my current pet peeve that I have worked through is sleeping on vacations. And that's because I've been wanting to sleep on vacations. I've been so fucking tired. But before that used to be a thing where I was just like, what's the point? I want to go, I want to do things and be active and things like that. And so I would not want to go on vacation if you were just going to go and sleep or rest or like take it slow. But now I'm over that. And a pet peeve that I will never get over, ever, 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 um, outside clothes in the bed. No, it's disgusting. I can't do it. You're mute.
Yes, especially living in New York City, them bed bugs is real. We're gonna keep it
Mm-mm.
there. Yes. Mm-mm. Mommy. Mommy knows best. What has been your pet peeve in the past that you've recovered from, and what is your current pet peeve now?
Good evening, everyone. Oh, pet peeve that I've recovered from the past is in a relationship when a man feels that he is the end all be all. Yes, I know you're supposed to be my king, but I have an issue when it's almost like I'm supposed to dummy down in order to make you feel and look good about yourself. And so I have worked through that because it's like, not my problem, not my monkey. It is what it is. Don't get upset. What is on the list that I can never get over is like nails on a chalkboard for me. And I've said this on previous shows. I like to get up and go. It's not like I'm trying to be in the street all the time. But if you don't have a passport with stamps, been on the plane and ready to go, I'm sorry. I have can't at this time to see it
See,
because I
they can't be.
travel.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
Natalie, can I just add I did what the definition I've been seeing of a pet peeve, because I think sometimes there's a little bit of an annoyance for certain things, and I know we misconstrue things sometimes. But
Hmm.
textbook definition, what I'm reading here is a pet peeve is a behavior or display that generates slight annoyance in people. They aren't things that are so inappropriate and rude and that they are necessarily warrant taking action, but they're generally bothersome in a way that will make you roll your eyes in frustration. So
Hmm.
pretty much what we
Well,
were saying, but I just wanted to make sure we talked about the definition of what a pet peeve is without my
okay.
guess.
Somebody said it's funny. Just Love said, "Is it pet peeves or petty peeves? Can we make the difference and then compromise?" Just
Right.
Love, we're gonna get into that. That's a great point. Brothers, schoolboy, Kofi. What is a pet peeve that you have kind of let go? It still may be there, but it's not a big deal. And what is the one that you is still like that ain't going down? You're on mute. I think you're still on mute, Kofi.
There we go. I'm having some
There,
technical
there we go.
difficulties.
That's okay.
Um, my pet peeve. I couldn't really think of too many pet peeves, but you know what? One of the pet peeves I could not get over when I was younger was I really could not stand like a chick who was like really hood. It'd just be like, nah, nah. Like she couldn't get too far past a whole lot of or a little bit of conversation. Nowadays,
Mm.
though, some people that's really how they are, and you just have to accept them for who they are. But with a little bit of experience now, I can tell when somebody's just faking it. And it's just like, no, I'm good. Um, what was the other thing? That was just out in the world, and then the other one was relationships.
Well, the one like when you're on a date now, what is a pet peeve that still stands with you? You're like,
Um, when she feels the need to be the person, like being super social while we're out. Like she has to add all the extra ad libs when we're in conversations with other people, and it's just like, no, I'm not good on that.
okay, all right. And Malik.
Um, the one I got over was I used to hate when people would like. It sounds crazy, but I would hate when they would like roll a toilet paper and it would be like to the floor. It used to just like drive me insane. You know, like they'll roll it and then they'll just like not forget to maybe wind it back up, so it would kind of be like to the floor. It used to drive me like
Right.
insane.
And then
And
Okay.
now
Okay.
what still kind of bothers me a little bit is like when I meet sisters and they're like Grand Rising King blessings. I'm just in my mind like, oh, I immediately go in my mind like, oh, you're one of those types. Like my name is Malik. You can just say hello. It just like slightly annoys me. It's like, okay, you're gonna have waist beads. You're gonna be, like once I hear that, I'm just like, okay, like you're one of those. Great.
They
You
got
just
they got
see
the
it in the morning.
they got the frankincense and myrrh. Is that what you
They
trying
got
to
like
say?
incense in their hand, a chew stick, some waist beads. It's like
Oh Lord
You
Jesus.
did not say a chew stick. Oh my god.
it's just and it's like I said, it's like very silly, but it's just like
It's annoying.
Okay. Okay. Anthea, you have any?
I have a lot. I really don't
Okay, but
even
give us
start a
one.
list, but
Okay.
I think lying is one of my biggest ones.
Okay. And that hasn't changed.
No.
That's good. Okay. All right. All right. So in thinking about like I thought about this because I was just like, yeah, the toilet paper. I know some people have a toothpaste pet peeve. We're not gonna get into that. Do you squeeze from the top, bottom, whatever? Shit, dumb shit. Like I ain't gonna call it dumb shit, but it says something about you
That
from what
that
I heard.
actually says a lot about your personality, okay? When you squeeze the
Okay.
toothpaste from
Okay.
the top or the
Okay,
middle.
squeezing the right, right, leaving dirty dishes in the sink, so on and so forth. But once you have like within your relationships, we all have those things that annoy us. What how do you let them know? How have you let people know when you have been in these situations and there becomes like, mm, we got to discuss this. Like, what gets you to the point where, like, okay, it's enough? Kim, I'm gonna start with you because I feel like you have history. You're on mute, love.
Yes. um, so you said when it's like has gone from pet peeve to red flag.
I don't even know if it's red flag. I think it's. I don't want to say it's a red flag. Like I think Just Love said, it's petty peeve. Is it pet peeve or petty peeves? Like when does it become a sense of compromise, and when does it become, or when does it just become like I can't take it anymore? Where's the
Okay,
breaking
so
point with it?
so I'm kind of similar to what the brother said about the grand rising, but what I call it is like a lifestyle preacher. So like tolerate a lifestyle preacher for probably like 3 months until they start to get to be a much, like you need to fast, and you need to stop drinking, and you need to stop smoking, and you need to work out this much, and you like they have this lifestyle that they have came across, and it's just like being preached and pushed down my throat. And I'm at the age and stage in life where I'm pretty good. I'm real, like actually I'm very, very good. So, I don't want to hurt anyone's ego, but your lifestyle is yours and I don't have to have it. So if it gets to be a point where I feel suppressed, or that I always have to, play a part so you don't get your feelings hurt, or so I can, okay, let me suck it up so we can do this thing again. It's starting to, we're just not aligned. It's not, that might be something good for someone else, but at that point, this is just an alignment issue. And if that starts to keep happening, then it's like pet peeve no more. I'm tired.
Mm, mm.
Lifestyle preachers.
Lifestyle preachers. Lifestyle. Okay. All right. All right. Mommy, that's interesting. Lifestyle preachers. So the people who constantly feel like they have to have some input on what you do all the time. Mm, mm,
All the
mm.
time, all the time. And
All
I
the
mean, I
time.
I
Okay.
really live my life in a way that is so unique and special to me, from my heart and consciousness. And I mean, I that's why I think that I'm definitely just, I think I'm not in a place. The question was, are your pet peeves standing in way of true love? But I think that my true love is myself.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way where I'm just really enjoying the things about me, to the point where I want to share them with someone. I don't want to convince someone. So, and that's vice versa. So I don't need you to convince me that this is the way and this is how life should be lived, because I'm enjoying life.
Okay.
And we're just misaligned.
Okay. All right. Gentlemen, Kofi, schoolboy. What has been, when has it become like, okay, you're in a relationship with someone, what they're doing, their pet peeves or their pet peeves become an annoyance to you? How do you bring that up? What does that look like now? Let's say you've been in a relationship for a year.
The pet peeve that I forgot to even think about was if someone, like, you're working during the workday and somebody just calling you and calling you and calling you. And it's like obvious, like, I'm not going to pick up the phone. You've called me 5 times. I haven't picked up, haven't texted you. I'm not going to pick up the phone. Like, stop calling me. It goes past the point of just a pet peeve to annoyance when it's making me lose money. If I'm not able to pick up those other phone calls, and then I finally get you on the phone, what's up? I just wanted to say hi. Get the hell off my damn phone, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's where it gets past the point. Once it kind of moves into the real world and it's starting to impact me being able to feed myself and pay these bills, now I'm a little bit irritated.
Okay. All right. My question is just like, is there a point where we become petty with our stuff? Like if you're trying to look for an out with someone,
Yes.
Do they become like, do you guys get petty with your pet peeves? And I think this goes back to what Just Love was asking. Are they pet peeves? Are they pettiness?
I think sometimes there are excuses that we use to justify coming out of the relationship or breaking up. It's stupid and petty, but it's our way to just kind of like say, look, he squeezed the toothpaste from the top. I couldn't take it anymore. But if you're with somebody for over a year and they've been doing that, why after a year you're going to actually break up with them because the toothpaste is an issue? It's pettiness. It's our excuse. We just using stuff as excuses to justify breaking up with someone.
So D Parks had a good. He had a statement. He said, "I wouldn't continue to be in a relationship up to a year if there were pet peeves or early pet peeves. I'm out." But to me, see, that's a little bit petty. Like, people, we all have pet peeves, do we not? We all have things that annoy us about someone we love. No?
I think it's where it stems from. Like, I used to have a thing about people eating in the bed. Like, say we're watching a movie late at night and we got some popcorn and we just, chilling in the bed. And I guess maybe psychologically, because my parents say you shouldn't eat in the bed, or I'm thinking maybe roaches will come in the room. So I don't know if it's really petty or it's me trying to make like life decisions that I think will keep our home intact. So I think
are you labeling that girl dirty if she's eating in the bed or something? Like,
no. I'm just saying, like,
roach infested. What's going on?
You eat in the bed, crumbs. So I think it's where your pet peeve stems from and how serious it is. Because if it's something like street clothes, like both of you said, you guys don't like street clothes on the bed. And I'm the type that I'll come in the house and I'll just plop down in my jeans. I won't even think about it. So, you know what I mean? I would want to be cognizant that bothers you. But to me, that's like a little neurotic. I'm like, why do you care? Like, it wasn't like I was in the street rolling around in my jeans. Like, I'm walking through the street like a normal person. So why is it the outside air hitting my jeans that bothers you? Like, what is it about street clothes?
Can I just say quickly about that? Because that's another one of my pet peeves as well. But remember, let's say you're on the train and I've seen people throw up on the seat and piss on the seat on the train. You don't know if they've wiped up everything from whenever you saw that. And you sit on that train and then you come home in the bed and sit down in your bed and that pee's still on your butt. Come on now.
So you mean like microbacteria? Because I'm obviously not going to sit in urine.
You're not going to, but you don't know if they wiped it up.
Yo, it's such an extreme case because the majority of the time you sit on a train, you're not sitting in pee and vomit.
About pee residue. I'm talking about pee residue, or sperm residue. I mean, they do a lot of crazy shit on the train.
See, that's where I would want to respect my partner's wishes. But in my personal mind, I'm like, is she being a little petty? Because I get it. There's a lot of dirt outside. I get it. And microbacteria and all that. I totally get it. But I'm like, come on, babe. I've dated women who don't really like street clothes on their beds. I understand it.
Look,
are you really with like a microscope and you're looking at the microbacteria that's on my jeans?
Yes, you are. Okay, Malik, we all live in New York City. I mean, some of us do. Or we live in major cities. New York City is dirty. And the bed bugs, we're not gonna I don't want this to become a conversation about bed bugs, but I'm just saying. I used to make all my boyfriends like, don't be laying on my bed with you. You better get butt ass naked or go take a shower or something. It's for real. It is real. So it's funny. I found a list of common pet peeves in relationships. And I want to kind of just talk about some of them. I just want you to choose like a couple and think about how they have affected your relationships now or even in the past, or is it something that you're constantly thinking? So the first one being unreliable. Comparing your relationships to others. Comparing your relationships to others, being unresponsive, staying too friendly with exes, the silent treatment, not being considerate about the small things, saying I'm fine when I'm not, when you're actually not, acting differently around friends and family when your partner is around, sharing your partner's flaws with others, not allowing for space. So I'm gonna let that sit with y'all for a minute, and just think about like somebody was like to one of them. Who said that? Was that you, Malik, or was that mommy?
Oh, the first one, the second one. So you have, and I agree with the gentleman. Some of it could be lifestyle. Some could be. You're definitely right where the trigger comes from. From how you were raised, who you hung out with. It could have been a trauma, whatever, that you're just like, So a pet peeve is a pet peeve, and then you got some pettiness. I personally do not like dishes in the sink overnight. I cannot go to bed if there's dishes in the sink overnight. But the solution to that is if I'm going over to your house and we're at your house, and if you don't mind me washing the dishes, fine, because I'm not going to go in the room with you. And sometimes I've learned to respect that. This is your house. I can always go to my house. So that's one solution, especially like with space. Some people don't know how to enjoy the silence. We could be in the room. I still feel the vibe, the energy, but that doesn't mean you have to yakka, 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 yakka all the time.
Right. Malik?
I have a question. So, mommy, let me get this right. If you're at my house and we getting ready to have a sexy time night, if I got 3 cups in my sink, you leaving? Or you gotta wash them?
No, boo. I would be in my heels and just the underwear on and be like, wait a minute, babe, come here while I'm washing them 3 cups.
And now you're going to touch me with your clammy palm-olive hands? Like,
no,
why just not leave them? Why?
Well, we could go ahead, but trust and believe, before I knock out, I'll go back out and wash them.
Mommy, why you got panties on, though?
Because I got the tatas showing. The tatas is a good asset. As my mother would say, that's upstairs shopping for downstairs bargaining. So the tatas would be.
Okay, I like that. All right, mommy. Welcome back, Kim. So I just read off a list. So I'm thinking one of the things is just like, because I think some of these things are red flags. Bigger than, like, when does the pet peeves become the red flags? And how do you get there?
You know what? I think I have the best way to answer that question. It's like when you are in love or infatuated with that person at the beginning, it's a pet peeve. As you start to lose that feeling, it turns into a problem. Because like Makai, right, has said that we, eating in the bed. I remember, I had an ex who over the time period we together, gained 100 pounds. At first, eating in the bed was a fun activity. You know, at pound 100, it was a problem. Like, I know I'm sitting in these damn crumbs because Goofy ass sitting here eating crackers and shit and cookies and whatnot in the bed. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it became a problem. It was no longer a pet peeve.
So the love was gone once they gained the weight. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was
Uh,
a culmination of things. It wasn't just the weight, but it's like, it did also, I think also when we're younger, we're learning how to, understand and be comfortable in our self-esteem. I found as I've gotten
Right.
older, everybody's a little bit more secure in themselves. When we're younger, those little self-esteem things like really cause problems. Until we figure that out. And then it's like, oh yeah, like either you're gonna like me or you're not. And that's just what it's gonna be.
You know,
Mm.
I
Yeah.
find that as I've gotten older, I've gotten more critical and and I'm learning not to be. It's like things that didn't bother me in my 20s bother the heck out of me now in my 50s. It's like, wow, I didn't know. And I laugh because I'm like, oh, is that being petty Betty, shallow Hal? Was I always like this? But I agree with you that things that you overlook in your youth, things that you overlook because you're in love, you're infatuated. Then other things when you look back and like, wait a minute, I would have never done that. Why would I overlook that then? And I'm overlooking it now. But then again, you're mesmerized. Everything is the newness, you know.
Mm.
I think living
But
arrangements are important. I think that
mhm.
when I was in my 20s, if I went over to a date's house, or a place, back in the 20s, it was a place because you couldn't afford it, and that was okay. But now, yeah, I definitely have a certain expectations of where you're living. I want to be. I want to come into some place that's safe and clean and fresh. Like, so I do, like, I don't want you in a basement somewhere not on top of, you know, the plumbing and the electricity. Like, I don't want to see like electrical wires all over my head and things like that. That's just not going to work. Now, that could be petty, that could be uncompromising, that could be bougie. You could call it whatever you want. But I'm at this point, kind of like my mommy, 48 years old, and it's just not happening. In the 20s, I'd be like, oh, he's coming up, he's trying. But now it's just like, nah.
So I have a question. So you find somebody now, you really dig them, right? They meet all the things, but let's say one of their pet peeves is they can be unresponsive on their phone, right? They're just they talk to you when they get home or whatever, whatever, whatever. They're unresponsive on the phone during the day, or they're just unresponsive on their phone altogether, right? But they meet all your big picture items. Like
Say
what do
that
you
one
do
last time
then?
again, Natalie. Debbie, what?
They meet they the one of your big pet peeves is that they're unresponsive, especially with the phone, right? But they meet all your big picture items is what you want in a relationship. What do you do? Because again, we are older. What are you doing? Are you saying peace
I
to
mean,
that, or like Kimberly, like you just said, their living arrangement is not to be your desire because they're always working and they're just like blah 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 blah. But
But is it a
they
deal
check.
breaker? The whole thing is it a deal breaker if everything is on your checklist, boom, boom, boom. And it's that one thing you have to ask yourself, is that a deal breaker? Where's the balance? Where's the scale? Where's the compromise and everything? Now, the unresponsiveness on the phone, you have to delve in. Is that person a phone person? You have some people, red flag for me, we have great conversations on the phone. Why can't we meet? I watch too much
Right.
Catfish. Okay. Can we meet? Or when we meet, there's no convo. You're yakking, yakking, yakking on the phone. But where's the interaction when we're in person? So, and then you have some people that because of their job, they can't be on the phone. or they feel awkward, or people don't realize that when you're texting in caps. That means you're shouting. It's all
But mommy,
interpretation.
let's say it's none of that. It's just that they're not phone people,
Right.
period.
Hmm.
And you are.
Hmm.
I
You gotta
don't
look at the
believe
deal.
I
It's a
don't
deal.
believe that everything we need to be everything to each other at all times. Like if you guys have quality time together, if I had, I'll speak for myself. If I had quality time with him, that's great. If he also has time on his phone, like I'm a phone person. I am on my phone a lot. But I make a point that if I am planning an activity or if I'm going out or if I'm with my children or whatever, what I had to do on my phone or on my laptop or on social media or whatever, I did it. And I at least have for me, it's just a matter of consideration that when we're out to dinner, this is our quality time. This is my agreed quality time with you. And I'm going to put my phone away and I'm going to have this time. And I think that there's some who cannot compromise in that way. But then there's some who can. And those are the ones, for me, I wouldn't even get myself desiring a relationship with someone who was not able to compromise in a way that I want them to. Like that's part of me being turned on by you is by
Okay.
your willing to say, hey, I'm a phone. I use my phone all the time, but this is our quality time. We're going to do that. Somebody that's just like, yo, I'm making my money. I got to make my moves. Look, this phone is my hand. I'm sorry. I'm not going to ever let myself get too caught up with you.
But I mean, Kim,
No.
Okay.
Kim, I think
Okay.
on the flip side, like say if you're one of them girls that you might text me a smiley face in the morning, then you text me like, hi, babe, at lunch. Then you text me something and I don't respond all day because I'm just like, she sent the smiley face. What do I say today? Sometimes like a lot of guys, sometimes we look at messages and we don't know how to formulate a response. Are you upset because maybe that's your love language and you're trying to be affectionate and playful and I'm not engaging in it? And it's not because I don't want to engage. Maybe I'm like a welder or I'm driving a truck, so I can't really get to my phone from like 9 to 5. Would that bother you?
That dynamic, that dynamic that you're speaking of, I am not even a part of it. So I don't think it's fair for me to say it because I don't want to down another, person for what their need might be to fulfill. But because I didn't come up in the time where we were text messaging and like that's just really weird to me, like the good mornings. And I've had lovers that every morning it's good morning and then they don't respond until I respond. And I'm like, oh my God, that must be a thing. Like you're supposed to respond next. So I'm just
Listen,
saying that to say it is possible to be with a partner who does not have that same dynamic, but I think it's very prevalent with the sign of the time in the day and age right now that we're living in because everything is
who's texting smiley faces and all that stuff, though?
People do
girl.
that.
That's what
People
I'm
do
saying.
it.
I think people do it. People
They
still
do
do it.
I
They
it.
wouldn't.
do emo-
It's not my
yeah.
thing.
They do.
Sunshine. People don't
Or
be sending you sunshine emojis.
So yeah.
No, but the ones I get, you probably. But anyway, that's a different story. But
or
So
wait a minute.
go
I'll tell
ahead.
you a big pet peeve of mine. Humongous pet peeve with the texting. What you doing? It's like nails on a chalkboard. If you
GM,
say what you're doing, and my response is, I'm truthful. Oh, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of stat after hours. Why? What you want to do? Because I'm thinking you're like, oh, do you want to go to dinner? Do you want to get a cocktail? Do you want to come over? I was thinking of stopping by. I'm thinking that you're asking me what I'm doing because you have a plan. And 9 times out of 10, it's no, you have nothing to say. So you're saying what you're doing.
What are you doing? What are
I
you
just
doing?
immediately think that's sex. Is that wrong? Like,
What? Excuse me?
is
What'd you
that
say?
wrong? I think that's immediately that's sex. They
Yeah,
want sex.
I feel like if a guy said that, it'd be wrong, right?
Well, what are you doing?
Say
If I
that
just
Oh, so
text
again.
you,
I'm
Say
right.
that again.
'Cause
Well,
I got
hold
a
on.
guy. So that was okay for me
Kofi,
to
what did
say.
you say?
I said I
No,
feel like if a guy said that, it would be wrong. Like if a guy said, "What are you doing?" just means sex. Oh my god, can't believe it.
You have been traumatized, bruh. I
No.
hear it.
So listen. The one thing, because I think the thing is I don't know who has a sound, but thank you. Uh, one of the things we talk about pet peeves, and I was just like, I feel like when people really focus on pet peeves is because they don't necessarily know what their big ticket items are in a relationship,
They're
right?
petty. They're petty.
So,
I beg to differ.
so I don't know. I really think about it because when I think, because my question is, it's just like, what are your big ticket items? Because I feel like sometimes the pet peeves will dissolve if you know what your big ticket items are.
Well,
No?
you know what, Natalie? A lot of times the pet peeve, and I'm talking general, I'm always looking at the bigger picture.
Mommy, but wait a minute. Wait. Before you go there, I want you to answer what your big ticket item is before we go into the pet peeves.
Y'all know what it is.
What is
Travel.
it?
See? I think you hit the
Passport.
nail on the head, Natalie. People know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want. So they keep
Holla.
focusing on what they don't like instead
You
of saying, like,
know,
you know what, this man is a God-fearing man, and we go to church every Sunday, we go to Bible study. So the little petty stuff he does don't matter. But because a lot of people don't know what they really want, they haven't seen what they want, I think. So they don't even know what it looks like. So they
And
can
it goes
focus on
both
all the things
ways.
they see that people that do wrong. I agree
But you
with you,
know what?
Natalie.
But no, it goes both ways because if you've seen it and you've had it, that's what you're looking for. So you have one group of people that they don't know what it is because the pet peeve is what went wrong. It's the baggage from the previous relationship or the love of your life from years ago, whatever. So that's one. The other is when you've had that grand passion, you've had that love of your life, and what forever reason it's over and done with. So you know you can attain it again. You're looking for that feeling again. So it goes either way.
you know what? I got a couple factors on that. The first one is I watched both my parents be and remain married now, over a couple of decades. And one of the parents, like my father and his wife, they're somewhat similar. They're really complementary. They work well together as a team. Then my mother and her husband, they're like polar opposites, but somehow they stay together and they've been making it work. So I know that there are a lot of pet peeves that they've uncovered about each other that gets on each other's nerves, and they found ways to eliminate that. The other part of it, though, is also because mommy has said something about I've experienced this.
I
You
think
went mute.
Kofi, you
You're
just
mute.
went mute on us, honey.
I said sometimes mommy has said something about I've experienced this before, so I can get it again. And I think that that's dangerous. It's dangerous to, well, I've seen it, I think that's dangerous. One, because you're comparing the other person. But two, sometimes I think that as those of us who are single and been out here single for a while, we're collecting a lot of experiences. And then we get to that person who could be that person, and we're like, well, they don't measure up to the experience I've had before. And that's where I think it's kind of dangerous to be so I'll use the word stuck on experience from the past and trying to bring it into the present, because that might not be your experience. That experience might be gone now. You might have to accept that
That's
the new thing is what it is.
And I agree with that, but let me put a twist on it. And people on this panel and people that watch us have heard me say this. For me, it's all about healthy relationships. So you have some people that don't know what a healthy relationship looks like or have never been in one. You've always been the enabler or you always been the victim. So if you've been in a healthy relationship, not that you want that same type of relationship, it's just is you're looking for, and especially in our age, whether you're your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, it should be easy. Not saying you can't do any work, but why does it have to be a struggle from day one? Why should you or I, feel that we have to change ourselves because people get caught up in the compromise? Exactly what is a compromise? What is meeting us halfway? And exactly what is true to your nature? And you have to want to be there. You can't make someone change, because it's people. Okay, people have seen pictures of me with straight hair when I used to blow dry my hair straight, and the guys will come back and say, "Ooh, why don't you do this?" And my response is, "Oh, you're gonna pay my hairdresser?" I'm not opposed to it. It's just is I wear hats, but that's their business.
so.
So
Go ahead, Anthea.
could I say something? And mommy, you're correct. I get a lot of flack for cutting my hair. I actually heard that today. Why did you cut your hair? But are all these pet peeves that we keep bringing to the forefront, does it say a lot more about us that have all of these
Right.
pet peeves than anybody else? Is it us? Like, we are the ones that are coming up with these different things that are annoying to us. So what does that say about us?
I think that it goes a lot with what Natalie asked before. Like, it's in the alignment with the same kind of thing that, what is our, default line? How'd you put that? It was such a great way you
I
put it.
call it your big ticket items. What do you
Right.
want?
See, and that's
Right? Because
personal,
the
just like
question, because
Sunshine
nobody
said.
has answered that question yet.
Oh,
You
I
know,
will. I
Mom,
will.
go ahead, mommy. I mean, go ahead, Kim.
So for me,
I mean, mommy, you did say you like to travel. So, sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
well, for me, I want to love in the present moment. So it's not like woo woo or anything like that. But my whole approach to dating now, being after divorce and being newly single, is completely different before I was married. And now, if I'm going out to dinner with someone, or if I'm going to the museum, or if I'm going somewhere, I want the company of someone who enjoys that place and space. Are we going to dinner because you love food the way I love food and we're going to enjoy this food? Do you enjoy sci-fi and we're going to talk about sci-fi? Do you enjoy Marvel? And we're really in the company of each other, enjoying something that we both like. Now, in that moment, we have amazing time, a fabulous time, and we never hear from each other again. That's okay. That's where I'm at right now, because that is love in the present moment. Up I'm not in a place where I desire relationship to go further than how we are relating when we are together.
Okay.
So
So
that's
you
what I
are you
want.
are
Maturity.
you
That's
are basically
maturity.
a here and now chick right now. Like, what we doing right now, what I got going on, what we got right at this moment is what it is. Got it.
Right here.
Got
I'm
it.
not asking a whole bunch of questions unless it pertains to my safety and my
Okay.
pleasure. And it's gonna be a red flag. Communication is something that's very important to me, and how we communicate. I don't when with me loving you in the present moment, I find it a red flag if you cannot be communicative about your feelings, your emotions, even your discontent. And so that is an emotional maturity and a communication maturity that I look for.
So, Kim, it sounds like you want somebody with a high EQ that is flexible to what you need.
And I will be
Co-
for him.
I know it. I
Be,
know. I
be
get it. I
flexible. Be
totally
flexible.
yeah,
get
I think
it.
I'm the opposite from that because I think I'm at the point in my life right now where somebody has to be um, able to see past, the next 3 months. We got to be able to plan a little bit further out. Because I'm on a 20-year cycle at the moment, so I need somebody who's ready for that.
Explain the 20-year
Okay.
cycle.
What does that mean?
It means I have a plan for the next 20 years. Like the next 20, what happens in the next 20 years is going to determine whether or not I'll eat cat food into my 60s and 70s, or I'll
So
be
what
able
does
to.
that? So what is that? What is that? What are the things that you need from your partner? Where pet peeves do
Um,
not matter.
yeah, I need them to be understanding. Like we're going to talk about the plan. Here's the plan. This is what I plan on doing. Where do you have any problems with that? If the problems that you have with that are deal breakers, then let's go our separate ways. Because I already know what I'm trying to do. And if you're not really on that same wavelength, I don't have time.
So,
You know what I
So
mean?
Kofi,
she
what
has to
if
be.
I got a question
So
on
she.
that?
Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So, what if she has a 20-year plan? Do you look at the plans and see if they can coexist together?
No, I mean, not. I'm gonna tell you no, because her plan should be to be my woman, right? That's her plan. So
That is so
Damn,
refreshing.
Kofi.
I just knew
yeah.
you were going to be like, oh, yeah, we could compromise. We could work together. See,
Nah,
that's
nah,
family.
nah,
Thank
nah.
I
you.
love it.
Nah.
Go
Oh, my
ahead,
God, I love
Kofi. Go ahead, Kofi. Finish.
No,
Finish.
But
I'm
thank
just
you for
saying. I'm
being
just
honest. But thank you
Yeah,
for being
no,
honest.
honestly, because here's the thing. I think we were reading Will Smith's book, and something that his dad said made a lot of sense to me. He said, if I send you, there can only be one person who's leading the mission, and if you're the one who's going to lead the mission, let me know so I can step back. But I'm not willing to step back, so you're just gonna have to let me run the mission. You know. Now, that being said, it's not like if she says, "Well, hey, I think we should do it this way because it'll be beneficial for both of us." Okay, is it aligned with what my objective is? Great. Because my objective, like if I reach my objective, it's not like she's gonna be left in the dust. These objectives that I'm trying to reach for are beneficial for myself, my woman, and my children. So, hopefully we have that conversation, we're aligned and we move forward. But if I'm aligned on what the mission is, we start to make traction, and then you wake up one day and say, you know what? I woke up on the wrong side of the bed and I need to oppose this. Now I'm dragging, whereas I was moving forward before without dragging so much.
But Kofi, even if the foundation is strong and she's just like, I think of Ozark. I just finished watching the whole season. And I'm like, Wendy took that Negro on a ride. I don't even know if y'all watched it, but I just see they still got there. Y'all still got to the plan. Is she a partner? Are you the leader and she is I don't want to get into that, but you are the leader in the relationship.
Yeah, because I'm not really looking for a co-pilot. I'm looking for someone to support us.
Okay.
But now, Kofi, I'm sorry. What if your mission is like not successful? Like, what if you say, "Hey, if you say my goal is to be the vending machine king of, the tri-state area." So you're putting vending machines in malls and schools, and let's say you're someone successful. She was like, "Hey, I don't want to be with a guy who stocks vending machines," and you could be a millionaire behind that, but to her, that's not like an exciting career. Or let's say you fail at it. At what point does she have the right to say, like, "Hey, listen, I'm an equal. I'm an adult like you. I do want to be your co-pilot. I don't want to be a stewardess."
Yeah, I hear you on that, and I feel like the love and marriage thing, I kind of separate them a little bit. If we're married and you've committed to being married, then like you're committed to me leading the mission. If you can't do that, then let's go our separate ways. And this is the thing. That's something that has to be communicated beforehand. You can't be with somebody who's lying and okay, I'll just say yes because I want you to be happy. You know what I mean? Like that's just a recipe for disaster. It's just in my experience, it's been that, like, either because I don't know, I think I make pretty good plans, and when I make a plan for the future and I start to execute it, I'm successful. When I let somebody come in and say, okay, well, I understand you want to do this, I'm gonna do this over here, and it's gonna be different, it causes problems.
You know what, Kofi? Believe in you. I love it. Believe in yourself. Go on, make that. Find that chick that's gonna do that for you.
It's not just about believing in myself.
Go on.
But this is another thing.
The purpose and the stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, aren't women more attracted to? And this has been my experience. Women are attracted to a man with purpose. When a woman walks into a man and he says, "Oh, yeah, baby, whatever you want to do, we'll just do whatever. We'll do whatever. Next thing you know, 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, y'all been doing whatever and getting nowhere fast. What's the plan?
I agree with that, Kofi. Have a plan. Don't just pick me up and check me out and be like, okay, so what are we doing? Where are we going? Have a plan.
That's why I said I agree with you. I ain't mad at it. Malik.
What's up?
What's your big ticket items now? It wouldn't matter if she whatever.
If you bring me a level of like connectivity, like I guess joyful connectivity, where I'm just so joy to be in your presence, I wouldn't mind the little things like toilet paper hitting the ground or eating in the bed. If we just really had, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're with that person, it doesn't matter if you're on the public train or private jet, you just really enjoy their company. Like if it's that kind of person, you're right. A lot of the pet peeves wither away. But it's very rare you find those individuals. Because when I did have
why do you think it's rare? Is it you, or is it really what's out here?
I think it's just like, to kind of quote Mommy and Kim, it's just a level of alignment. Like some people, you just meet those people that you just align with for some reason. And you might meet a lot of people you like, you might meet people you're attracted to, but you'll just meet some people that is just, it's like it's almost inexplicable. There's just this is an instantaneous gravitation towards each other, connectivity. So it's like when it's with that person, like I dated a girl like that once, and I mean, we dated for 5 years, and it was amazing. Like, and she had a lot of pet peeves that was just, but they didn't matter. And I had pet peeves. She didn't want to date guys who smoked. I smoked all the time. It didn't bother her because we would go like on wine tasting together and travel together, and we just did so many different things. Like she came with me to a party in the projects once, and she was like, "I grew up in a private house. There's no way I would be walking around Fort Greene projects." But it's when you're with that person that you just like connect with, it didn't even matter. So I think to speak to Mommy's point, I think a lot of people are constantly chasing that feeling again. So we use pet peeves and other things as red flags to immediately back out when it doesn't instantaneously feel it. Because you know what that it's almost like high school love. You know that feeling where it's butterflies and you're just so excited. And I think as we get older, we get so jaded by life that that feeling doesn't come as quick. So when it's not coming as quick, we have to have a reason why it's not happening. We can't just say, you know what, this didn't work. Let me try something else. It's almost like when things fail in life, I feel like we have to have a reason. The human spirit, we just can't say like, hey, it didn't work. It's like, oh, it didn't work because he did this. Oh, it didn't work because he did that.
Can I just say
Go
quickly,
ahead.
it makes a huge difference if you're on the train versus a private jet. Just saying.
Well, if you're with the right person,
Anthea, what is Anthea? But okay, so Anthea, Sunshine.
It really doesn't. If you're with somebody you love, I've known girls who've been on jets with guys and like texting me. And then I've been with girls on the train who are like laughing there. We're watching the street performers. We're like, I'm like, oh wow, you know what I mean? Like I rode the train last week to the Museum of Natural History, right? I rode the train to the Museum of Natural History, and it's been my first time on the train in a while because I drive. But we had an amazing time on the train. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm in another world. It's like I'm looking at people with masks.
You are in another world.
But it was so interesting. We had so much fun because we both drive. So I was like, hey, let's park our cars. Let's ride the train uptown. It's like 96th Street. We're right there. And because we enjoy each other's company, it was so much fun on the train. I was like, wow, they don't use tokens anymore. I had to get a Metro card. You know what I mean? It was just, whereas, and this girl's dated athletes. So she's been on jets and other stuff. Where she's like, you know what? I had so much fun on the train. Because I think it's just like the energy.
And you're right. It's the energy and it's so.
Where is she today? Where is she today?
She works. She like models. So I think she's in like Detroit or someplace right now doing a shoot.
So y'all are not together.
I mean, we have a good understanding.
Okay.
Like,
what does that mean?
We're both pretty busy people.
You know what? Let me keep that in the after party.
That's another show.
That's another show. So Anthea.
Yes.
Sunshine,
yes.
What are your big ticket items? Do you have any?
I just at this point I think I am all about honesty. Just honesty for me I think that's the simplest thing to ask. What do you like? What do you don't like? What am I doing? That's, there's no need to lie in anything. So for me, it's just honesty. I'm going to be very open and honest and transparent with whoever it is I'm dating. And I just expect the same from them. There's no need to lead me on or lie and all that stuff. And I think if that happens, I think I'm okay. I'm going to judge you if I see a toothpaste is squeezed from the middle. But outside of that, I'm fine. Just be honest.
So my question is with such like the toothpaste being squeezed from the middle. I know we're at an age where we're really not trying to change anybody, but how do you address? You were with that person that meets all your how do you address the things that annoy you, and also keep the peace?
You just tell it. Be honest. Easy as pie. Easy.
Because when you don't say it, when you don't discuss it, not saying that the person's going to stop or you're going to stop, but if you don't have that conversation, that's when it becomes petty.
Yeah,
That's when, because it starts eating at you. And even though it's something minute and you talk to other people, they was like, oh, come on now. Is that all? You have to have that discussion, because then every little thing starts bothering you, which
yeah.
goes back to that.
Every time I use the
Yeah.
bath, there's hair on your soap bar or some shit like that. I don't know. That's fucking annoying. But you just let them know. I just don't leave hair on the soap bar, especially if they're bald. No, no, no pun intended. Stevie, I swear I wasn't joking at you.
Nah. I know you meant you was talking to me on the slick. I get it. It's all good though.
That is hilarious. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, we are slowly coming to a close on this one. We started a little bit late, but I do want to give people their final thoughts on what are some of the pet peeves that people have experienced with you, and how have you adjusted that they have pointed out?
Mm,
For me, it's
I'll give
being
one.
loud. Oh, you go.
No, go ahead, Kim. Go ahead, Kim.
Being loud, laughing loud, talking loud, being, really big. And I think that what I've really learned is that it's better to live your life honestly, because if you truly don't want to change, then it turns into manipulation, and manipulating someone to get something that really you don't even know if it's going to be that great, like a relationship with that person. It might be better with someone else. So I think that that type of fluidity, I always want to leave for myself, to be honest, to be open, and to allow someone to not like a loud person. That is fine. We are not going to get into a debate about how it was because your mother crushed your spirit and that's why you don't like loud women.
Ooh.
No, we're not doing
Ooh.
that. We're just going to go our
Okay.
separate ways, and you find a beautiful, wonderful, quiet woman who there's like millions of beautiful, amazing, quiet women out there, just like loud,
All
beautiful
right.
women.
You didn't answer the question though.
Being
She said,
loud, talking
she
loud,
said being loud is a pet peeve that people have experienced
had
with us.
for me.
Yeah, but I
Mhm.
thought the other part of it was how did you correct it,
She
right?
skated. She didn't correct it. She left.
I
She
did
she
not
she
correct
did.
it.
She kept.
Okay.
I did
Her
not correct
correction was
She
to
it.
did
leave.
not.
Yeah, I don't.
Was to
I don't.
leave.
Well, that was that. I guess that was part of my answer. That I would be really.
Yes.
My thing is that the correcting part leads to manipulation. So I would
Right.
be very careful with correcting something with the promise of a relationship, because
Your
I
choice is
prefer
rubbish.
enjoying the company of someone rather the promise of having something future with someone. So if me being loud is something that I need to compromise about, I would just say no. I would take the zero
Yep.
and go somewhere else, because it leads to
Cut that
manipulation.
zero and get with another hero that enjoys her
And I
loudness.
just, and
Moving
I, sh-
on. Moving on. Hold on, because we only don't got that long. We're gonna take it into the after party. Mommy, quickly, what is it? What has been your
Um,
pet peeve? What is the pet peeve that's been brought to your attention?
that I don't care. Men
Hmm.
think because, no, seriously, men think because I'm not
Okay.
always blowing up your phone, or what are you doing, or whatever. If you tell me, hey, I'm doing XYZ, I'm working on a project, da 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 da, I'm like, okay, I'm giving you that space, because when you're fine, it's not that I don't care, but thinking I've had to learn, depending on the person, to do that check in, you know, because at first in my younger years, I used to think it was a control issue. Why you need to know where I'm at? I don't have a Timex around my neck, blah, blah, blah. But I do understand that the man has a general concern because I do travel, I do go out and everything. They want to make sure I got home safe, or hey, did you make it safe? So I've learned to adjust that and not think of it as, you just want to know where I'm at because you're out doing something or whatever. I've
Right.
learned that they actually do care, you know.
Okay. Okay. So you check in. Kofi, schoolboy,
You're on mute.
you're on mute.
So one problem that I had, I probably still have it now, is I had an ex who hated for me to leave my socks on the floor. It was like she'd lose it about socks on the floor. And for me, I was like, yeah, that's really not a big deal to me, because it takes 2 seconds to throw. Because I might have just took the socks off while I was watching TV and got up to get some water, and then she comes back and is like, hey, what's up with these socks right here? And I'm like, well, I just walked away from them. But because it was a big deal for her and it would cause issues, it's not that big a deal for me to just like put the socks in the hamper,
Okay. All right. All right. Clean spaces. Clutter. Declutter. Thank you, Kofi. Malik, and then Sunshine.
I mean, nothing really like. I think as you get older, you gain wisdom. I don't think anything is too like drastically left because I wouldn't have been attracted to you initially. You know what I mean? I'm not out there like trying to date dope fiends. So I try to put everything in perspective. You know what I mean? Like, is it really something that is really, how important is it to you that this happens? And how important is to me that I maintain who I am? So if it's like the sock thing, am I really making some statement about myself as a man and my freedom and this is part of me? You know what I mean? Or am I just kind of a little bit forgetful? And if I love my lady, I would engage in a little bit more thoughtful behavior. So you know what I mean? So to me, it's I think one of the ladies, it's balance. So if it doesn't diminish who I am as an individual, and it does bring you some level of joy, I don't really mind. It's like eating in the bed was a big thing for me because I really just grew up with thinking that was like so taboo. But long as there was a level of cleanliness to it, like I would say, like, hey, babe, long as I don't find crumbs in the bed later or whatever, I don't really care anymore. And I have my own little psychosis where I'm kind of I can't even enjoy the movie because I'm looking to see if a popcorn falls or a peanut falls. But I learned that's me. That's not her. You know what I mean? So as long as she's respectful of what I want. And the compromise was that when we would eat on the bed, we would kind of put a towel down and put the snacks on top of the towel. So that way, if any crumbs did fall, it would never hit the bed sheets, and we would just wrap it up and go. So I think it's really communication and understanding is the best way to get through.
A lot of reasons to put a towel down now. So, but
and not for food, but you could eat something else. Go ahead, Anthea.
So you're saying a pet peeve that people has had of me in a relationship that I joke too much. They don't know when I'm serious.
Mm-hmm. And we continue to joke too much. On that note, I've been a lot of this stuff probably on the list that I read. Unresponsive. I don't know about unreliable, but the silent treatment. I can be petty. But I've also learned that I'm starting to look at the bigger picture and understand like what is important for me in the relationship as well as him. So you learn a lot. You learn about yourself and you learn why you have formed these things. So we're going to talk a little bit more about pet peeves in the after party. Each one of these amazing individuals will be in the after party. We will see y'all next week as we talk about infidelity.
And the links for the link for the after party is in the comment section.
Yes, the link for the after party is in the comment section and the Facebook group. We're a little late, so people are there waiting. We'll see y'all there. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Schoolboy, a.k.a. Kofi. We'll see y'all soon.
Get twisted Sundays, look. I ain't gonna wait till the beat drop. I'ma get it while it's warm and start to form this heat rock. I spit classic complex progressions, my whole flow is bebop. I bless demographics with lessons cause my bars are sheetrock. That's hard. These scars gon' get me to the treetop. I'm different now, but I used to keep my eye on tail like peacocks. Changed my perspective, got selective on what line I eavesdropped. Switched to the main one, then refrained from all the names that peep-hopped. They were thotties. Used to smash them as hobbies, but I'm godly, no probably. I bring Yeshua to the hood. Mama need a met fat, she said, yes, he blessed and you're good. My cousin, whole life a mess, cause he stay obsessed with the jug. I try to confess I'm blessed, even when my life dark is Suge. Last name, that's night, don't get it? You probably snoozing, I make it clearest, my dearest. Whenever the spirit moving, I'm trying to spark up reunion. Bring back all the real rappers. Donald Trump when the president, preachers say that the rapture is coming. So we on our knees praying to get acceptance. If we made it in his image, then why can't I see reflections of love? They project us as thugs. Hell, my partners need hugs. We straight out of the mud. I told my pops I'm the plug for purpose, passion, talent, skills, and everything that's above. Hell, the poverty line. If I ain't the best, then they probably lying. The flow touch those boys probably divine. And the whole risk go, but I hardly got time for Facebook posted. I partly designed to play fake hope and a partially blind. And I told Miss Rogers she ought to be mine. And we start, they practiced abstinence to dark Satan. I'm cool with waiting, but swear it took Revelations in Genesis. Matter of fact, the whole biblical compilation, the defense of Gary Payton and hella spiritual patrons to help me. Cause I was trying to GTD like Tommy on season 2, probably episode 16 or more. Man, R.I.P. Tommy Ford, but please check that episode just to see how much more I put in there. Every score I pin, I scrub the floor with men who say they rap, but really industry whores within. I'm done, bring the chorus back in, but ain't no chorus though. Yeah, but ain't no chorus though. But ain't no chorus though. No chorus though. Now scratch that, we about to put a chorus right here. Look, this is the chorus for the haters that be big mad. Who throw us juju, but we do on that witchcraft. We black as the Zulu with moves you do at kickbacks. Shout out to those of you who knew we get that big bag. Say this is the chorus for the haters that be big mad. Who throw us juju, but we do on that witchcraft. We black as the Zulu with moves you do at kickbacks. Shout out to those of you who knew we get that big bag. Shout out to those of you who knew we get that big bag. Shout out to those of you who knew we get that big bag.
Join Stacked After Hours, The Spot, where grown men and women gather to have candid, also honest discussions about the state of life, love, and more. The Spot is a hybrid of in-person and weekly virtual gatherings. Join our Facebook group and answer our daily questions. Subscribe to our YouTube for our weekly live talk shows and join us on Zoom for our talk show after parties for lively conversations with other opinionated, grown and sexy professionals. Just search, like, follow, and subscribe to Stack After Hours on Facebook groups and YouTube. Also like and follow our brand pages at Be Stacked Wellness on Facebook and IG. So wherever you are, at home or abroad, pull out your laptop, tablet, or smartphone and join in the conversation with the members of Stacked After Hours, The Spot by Be Stacked Wellness. See you there.
As you know, and if you are new to the Stacked family, we always keep our conversations lit and enlightening.